All right. Welcome, people. It is Thursday, not Wednesday. Wednesday we had I had something going on at the last second. Don't worry, everyone's all right. Just had to kind of push it back to today. But it is Thursday. It is 8 p.m. Central Time, and this is the experience. Hello to everyone on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. So I'm trying out Kick for a night to see how that works out. But welcome, everybody. I am Drew, and with me here, as always,
It's Justin from Spine Buster Tees and SpineBusterTees.com.
but yeah, like I said, welcome everybody that's watching on either platform. I see Threlax is here in the chat. What's up, Threlax?
What's
And
up?
we are back for another week of talking about some wrestling, and whatever does come to mind, which is usually the case sometimes on the show. But Justin, how are you?
I'm good. You know, working busy, trying to stay busy at the shop, but nothing really like new going on, I would say. But yeah, everything's good.
All right, sounds
How
good.
about you, man?
I can't complain. I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to take each day as it comes. I'm just happy I can wake up every morning and still have the things that I have in my life, like a beautiful woman, good friends, a job that puts food on the table, that pays the bills. That's really all I can ask for. So really all any of us can ask for. But um I guess we can kind of get things started right away with our wrestler of the week. Justin, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
You can go first. Yeah, I always go first. We can switch up this week.
All right, sounds good. My wrestler of the week is somebody who has been in wrestling, who has participated in wrestling matches with the WWE at WrestleMania. Also headlined a huge pay per view in his home country a few years ago with a huge reaction, a god level reaction, and who's had a pretty big week outside of wrestling. Won himself a Grammy. He also performed at the Super Bowl, which I thought was an
Oh
amazing
no,
performance.
no!
My
Don't do
wrestler of the week,
do
no, 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 no.
don't do this. Do not do
My
this.
wrestler of the week is Bad Bunny. Again, has he wrestled in a wrestling match? Has he not? Again, I'm not trying to take over the well, it's kind of weird to say take over the show, but I'm not trying to make this into a show it isn't. I'm just giving praise. I'm just giving credit where credit is due. Not try to start a political argument. I'm just giving praise to someone again who has been in a wrestling ring, who has Jesus Christ, what happened to this camera?
Can I make Lawrence Taylor my wrestler of the week?
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything this week
Oh, how you know that?
because he hasn't.
I mean,
Why?
he's
Why?
living
Why are you?
life.
Why are you scoff? Why are you scoffing at my choice?
I'm not scoffing. I like Bad Bunny. I have nothing against Bad Bunny. I thought his Super Bowl performance was really good. Um, just I don't know. It's your pick.
I thought he had again the Super Bowl performance was great. I thought it was amazing. I granted, like everyone
That was
else,
shot very well. Like as far as like the
mhm,
production wise, I thought that was probably one of the best ones that they've ever done for sure. So yeah.
it was emotionally driven. It was a shout out and appreciation to the culture. I'm always someone who's interested in other people's cultures. Like I want to learn about other cultures other than just myself, other than just my own.
Right.
And it's also it makes me appreciate their cultures a lot more. I also liked how he wasn't trying to go out of his way to be political, except for maybe the end. But that was more like, instead of trying to, like what was the message? The only thing stronger than hate is love. Like
Uh
that's a good message.
yeah, it was similar, something like that, yeah.
But again, people might think my choice is meh, but I just thought he had a big week. And again, he's someone that is a part of the wrestling business. It's a possibility he might show up at Mania this year, and
He
I think
might
that
show up, but I mean, we could have gone. I mean, Rob Gronkowski. I mean, like okay.
again, I'm talking about people who are doing something at the moment. who are nationally, publicized television.
Okay, that's fair.
But I think he had a big week, so that's my wrestler of the week.
Okay, well, my wrestler of the week is actual active performing wrestler that is on TV, and they are what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, they're active currently in their role on television. This is my first AEW wrestler that I'm picking for a wrestler of the week. I am going with the brand new AEW Women's Champion Thekla. She has, since she's came in, she got a slow start coming in, but over the last couple months, she has definitely been improving, and with with our group, and Bad Bunny is great. Yeah, he's great. He's good. He's an awesome performer. He's an awesome performer for sure. But yes, I am going with Tekla. She is a new AEW Women's Champion. She defeated Chris Statlander last night on Dynamite. And yeah, like I said, I thought their match, I thought it was a pretty damn good match as well. So very fun time. So Drew, you listening?
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
You're drifting off there.
No, I'm listening. I'm just trying to do two things at once. But
okay,
I heard you. I saw that Thekla one, and good for Thekla.
Yeah.
There needs, I mean, with AEW,
I think it's THK or EKLA. It looks like Thekla, but I believe it's pronounced Tekla. But but on commentary on AEW, they say where the fuck they want. They say Tekla, but I think the official pronunciation is Tekla. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I mean, good for her. I mean, that show needs more eyes and ears to the product. Not just the diehards. It needs the filthy casuals.
Well, I mean, she's not gonna do that, but
I know, but it's just like when you have fresh faces on it, it helps. It can help.
Yeah. I just feel sorry for Chris Statlander.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, those titles, you can win it, but it's all at the end of the day, it's all about booking. I mean, for example, Thrillex brings it up. You bring in Tommaso Ciampa, and he wins the TNT title, and then immediately loses it to Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, I'm not mad they lost to Kyle Fletcher. I thought their match was fantastic last night. I mean, I don't know if you saw any highlights of it. I mean, I don't know if you did or not, but regardless, I thought it was a fantastic match last night. AEW's best match so far this year, for what it's worth, early in 2026. But yeah, I mean, I thought he deserves to win, but also as well as like you just got Ciampa to come over to AEW. He wins the title, right? His first night in, then he loses immediately, like a couple weeks later. That just tells me that Khan just wanted to have a champion here. It's like, oh, look, we're using him, and we're gonna take time off him. Now he's not gonna be used going forward. So I think he reaches ceiling. Unfortunately, I think he probably reaches ceiling already. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, because he had a fantastic match last night with Kyle Fletcher. It looked like a little bit of that old NXT Ciampa.
Don't you think that would have been a better match at a pay-per-view?
Well, this is the issue. They're having Grand Slam this weekend coming up. They're going to be in Australia. They wanted Kyle Fletcher to go in as champion, which tells me if they want to go in champion or win the championship, how come you took the title off of Mark Briscoe in the first place if you knew that you were going to put the title on Kyle Fletcher?
True.
Should have just have him won the title at, you could just use Ciampa for something else, then have him go up against Fletcher, but they see Fletcher as the golden boy for now, as they should, because he's young. Ciampa's older, right? But I'm not the booker there. It's just strange. That's all it is. But Ciampa, I hope I really hope that he's happy with the position. I'm pretty sure he's happy with being in AEW, but right. But at least you can say, hey, he won a championship. You can't take that away from him. He won a singles title. He didn't do that in WWE. But again, I think it's Tony Khan really doing it for like pettiness. Like, hey, we're gonna use you, and okay, like we'll see though. I may be wrong. He may be. Who knows? He may be a main eventer. We don't know. But just by the track record of Mr. Tony Khan, I'm not really confident in that. So, but back to the wrestler of the week, Tekla, very deservedly so. Chris Statlander, they had a great match. So hopefully it's not the end for Chris Statlander, but yeah, Tekla, they're trying something new with her, obviously, and hopefully this kind of revamps the women's division, but I don't believe in Tony Khan that he will do that. So, but I may be wrong. I mean, I'll put it to you this way: AEW this year has been better, starting out from last year to this year. So I think AEW has been better than what it has been. So, I'm not saying that I love it, but there's some things I like about it. But there's a lot of questionable stuff too, booking wise. But I don't expect you to care or even give a fuck. But it just is what it is. So, they can. They can have a fucking, one of the best years ever. And, I don't think casuals would care either because they lost him. So,
Again, I'm not the kind of guy to yuck anyone's yet. I want AEW to do better, not just money wise. Well, obviously money wise, but get more people back. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if Tony's the one booking the show, it's not going to work because he books for one audience, and that's the problem.
Well, I mean, you're right about that, but who the fuck Triple H is booking for right now at this point? So it's like,
true.
We gotta call both sides on this equation. So it's like,
no, like I've been very
the better booker. I will still say that he's a way better booker, but it's like, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I mean?
Right. Like I mean, we've been vocal. I mean, I've been vocal for the past few weeks about like, the hell are you doing, Paul?
Well, it's not even a few weeks for me. It's been the last few months for me, at least the last half year for me.
Yeah, right. All right. I've been honest about like, yeah, by default, maybe he's a slightly better, but it's still not very good. Shawn Michaels on NXT on the other end, he has a lot of work to do.
He's doing as well as he can with what he has, but
right,
that men's division right now is for the shits, man. It's for the shits.
Yeah, and NXT. Before we get into our review, like it was kind of hard to get through that show on Tuesday because it's like
really for the shits, man.
Like the women's stuff is good. Even some of the speed stuff is interesting, but other than that, the men's is just like, ooh, hit me so I can see some stars, as Jim Cornette would say. But yeah, I mean, a show that actually is pretty good, surprisingly, is SmackDown. SmackDown, ever since going back to 3 hours, has become the much better show because to me it's better paced, better matches, in my opinion. I'm just speaking for myself.
Yeah, that's fine.
So let's go to SmackDown real quick. So SmackDown, I forget where it was on Friday.
I'm not too sure. I mean, did you? I mean, it looks like you got notes there, but
yeah, I have them here.
I mean, I don't really think it matters where it was at, but
Yeah, so the show opens with Drew McIntyre coming out to address the crowd, and then Cody comes out and beats his ass, which kind of becomes a theme because it happens again later, and then Drew has a chance to talk. But like this thing, Cody beats his ass, and you brought up on last week's show when Ruben was here, Raw started a similar way because it started off in chaos with Braun Breaker opening the show, and which we'll get to Braun Breaker much later. And this show opens with chaos, so I thought, nice opening. And then Cody gets on the mic, and Cody, I've always said, is when he has more fire, when he has more vigor, he's more interesting.
Yep.
When he's not just out there doing the whole "I am Cody Rhodes," like where he's holding up a skull like he's some dramatic theater actor.
Does he really do
when
that?
He's
I mean, not like literally, but like I don't.
He's very dramatic. Like when he was in AEW, like that was probably worse. Like he was a little bit too over the top and dramatic. And WWE still kind of does it. But yeah, when he's like, I
mean, he's been doing that his whole career though.
Not when he was like regular Cody Rhodes or dashing. Well, dashing, yeah.
No, I'm gonna say dashing. That was like way overboard.
Or
Yeah,
undashing, which was fun. That was fun as fuck.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
and
well, undashing was way overboard too. That was probably even more overboard. So yeah.
when he went on his singles run, and especially when he tagged with Dustin, that's when you started to see dramatic Cody Rhodes. But yeah, just like when he has more vigor and he has more fire to him, that's when he's more interesting to me.
Okay.
So yeah, he cuts his promo talking about Drew McIntyre, and then he brings up Roman Reigns and Punk, and then brings up the quote that Punk talked about, which was it was a dick measuring contest, but Cody called it a you know what measuring contest. And then Cody proceeds to say, "You're lucky I wasn't there because they don't call me Raheem for nothing or for no reason."
Right.
And that got a big pop out of the crowd. I get a big pop out of me. You know,
Yep.
Cody, for whatever you want to say about him, he's at least self-aware. He knows people make jokes about him.
Oh yeah, he's very.
He knows he's a meme. He usually takes things with a, you know, with good spirits.
Yeah, he's a good.
For example, I don't know if you knew this, but him and Wrestling Soup kind of had a feud when he was in AEW, and there was a guy by the name of Captain Cole, who's a rapper, local rapper, and he actually made a Cody
local
Rhodes
rapper
diss.
to where?
Well, like I think he was on SoundCloud or something, but
well, like
I shouldn't say local. I shouldn't say local rapper. Maybe like
okay. I was like, was he like San Antonio? Like I never heard of him. Okay, I got you.
But he made a diss track for Cody Rhodes in honor of the Soup, and Cody heard the track and he actually thought it was funny.
Right.
So he was a good sport about it. But yeah, Cody made the Raheem reference and everybody went nuts and that was funny. Yeah. And that was that promo. So later in the night, Drew McIntyre comes out again, and this time Jacob Fatu attacks him. And then much later on, Drew is finally able to cut his promo, but talks about how Roman and Punk pretty much diss the WWE title and says like this is the title everybody has to work hard for. Yeah. You know, like this is my title. I worked hard for it. ABC. Indeed, it was a good promo. Because for what anyone had to think about the Roman and Punk promo, which was unanimously positive. Right. The one thing you had to point out was why the fuck did they bury Drew's title? Why they bury the WWE title? Like I just thought that was just like you didn't need to do that. Like that was unnecessary. And I like that Drew, caught onto it, or not caught onto it, but like addressed it as like you want to bury this title? That's fine. We're gonna go out there and have probably the better match. But overall, what do you think about the opening segment and just the rest of the I guess the theme of the night of Drew getting attacked?
I thought it was fine. I mean, Drew getting attacked though, I mean, I didn't love it. I won't say it'll make him look weak or anything like that, but like you're supposed to be like this badass or whatever, being like you're getting attacked. But I mean, if it's just for 1 week, it's fine, you know what I mean? But the promo with Cody though, it was good. Good promo. The proper fire that he needs. He's more edgy, which is fine. I thought it was a great way to open up SmackDown.
Right. And Threllick says Cody says he wants to be a face for as long as possible. Yep. That's kind of
get next year, get rid of that. If they do Punk and Cody for WrestleMania next year, Cody's turning heel, baby. I'm sorry. So we might as well get used to this more edgy Cody because he has about a year left if they're gonna do a Cody Punk match. I don't know if they are gonna do that next year's WrestleMania. I'm just saying if they do. I
mean, they should.
Yeah.
Oh, because next year's Mania is in Saudi, right?
Yeah.
Really.
It's a possibility because I mean I don't really see Rock and Roman being for a title. Doesn't need to be for a title.
I don't think that will happen though, personally.
You don't think it happened?
I mean, The Rock's kind of already way past his I guess wrestling abilities. I don't think he can really step in the ring and wrestle anymore.
I mean,
Um,
does that matter to the Saudis?
no, it doesn't.
Like
Um,
this is Saudi made we're talking about here. They're paying big money for this event. They're gonna do everything in their power, and they're gonna pay. If they get shot, they had Shawn Michaels come out of retirement for one match.
oh
What do you
yeah,
think they're
that
gonna
was
do for The Rock for their very first WrestleMania that they're gonna get? Could be
he'll be able
more.
to
We
buy
don't
his own
know.
island.
I'm sorry. What was that?
He'll be able to buy. He'll be able to buy 5 islands with that kind of money.
You know, I mean, if I'm The Rock, Alistair's looking like he's like, well, gotta look at the numbers. you know, so yeah, I wouldn't count it out. I'll say that. I don't want to see the match for the record. I don't want to see the match, but I'm just saying, can it happen? Is a possibility? Like, oh yeah, 1,000%. I don't want to see
Be a
it.
weird be a weird build up though, because it'd be with 2 guys who aren't even on the show.
That's true, but I think that they're gonna end. I mean, Rock could do the online shit again.
Yeah, probably, but that'd be like the weirdest build up. It's like 2 of the biggest stars.
No,
and
but
they're
I'm not saying
fighting
like all the build, but I'm saying that he can kind of like fill the gaps because that helped. That helped with WrestleMania 40.
True, but then you also had Cody who was available each week to react to it, or Seth.
Right.
So I don't know. Like I wouldn't doubt it's gonna happen. It's just like it'd be a weird feud. So that's just me. But as far as the rest of SmackDown, you had Rio, which was Rhea and Io versus Kiana James, and Julia defending their women's tag team titles. The match was fine. It was a pretty decent match. Actually, I take that back. It wasn't a decent match. It was a very good match. You got to see what Kiana was made of, and obviously, it's good to see Julia being brought up pretty much being tested on TV each week. I like that they still haven't given up on her. I don't know. Again, going back to Triple H booking, we obviously have taken Triple H to task and deservingly so. But you have this discourse of people online that anytime one thing goes wrong, it's always Triple H's fault. But they never want to give him his due if he does something right. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something real quick.
Yeah, I'll leave it alone. Never mind.
Well, let me ask you something real quick.
Yeah.
Would you consider someone to be buried if they're on TV every week?
Depends how
Or
they're being
hated?
utilized.
Like in Julia's case, she's wrestling every single week, and it's always in a pretty.
No,
decent
she's not buried.
match.
Her. No, she's not buried. No, but like, there's been certain aspects where certain guys have like, for example, Karrion Kross when he first came up, he lost to Jeff Hardy, and he was the NXT champion. I wouldn't say that he was buried at that point, but like that was very questionable at that time, and like it ended up him getting buried per se because he, didn't look like how he was in NXT. You know what I mean? So that's just one example right there.
Or like with LA Knight, where everyone's like, LA Knight's not being treated properly. It's like he's on TV every week and he's in a big.
Being on TV every week doesn't necessarily mean that you're not.
Or let me rephrase that real quick.
No, I know what you mean, but like,
right,
it's one doesn't equate to the other.
Right.
One doesn't equate to the other. You cannot be on TV and be in a good position within the company. You could be on TV every week and not be in a good position in the company. We've seen people who are there one week and gone the next, released, right? For example, or when guys get, throw back down at NXT, right? When Mustafa Ali, he got back down to NXT, he was old in North American Championship shot and he got let go.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one example right there. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where it's that I don't really, burying is still a thing, right? But I think it's more or less of a thing nowadays, especially in the WWE. I think that it's not just Triple H, but it's up to the talent too to get themselves over. If you're going out there and they're giving you opportunity to be on TV, you gotta get over. as best as you can with whatever you're given. If it's 10
Right.
seconds, you gotta put yourself over. Kit Wilson's doing that right now, right? Is Kit Wilson
Mhm.
buried? He hasn't really won anything significant on TV as of yet. I mean, I'm not counting anything on main events. Getting his ass kicked by Obafemi. You know what I mean? I think eventually him and Matt Cardone's gonna have a feud. And I think Kit Wilson may win that feud, right? But is what it
I-
is. There's
back then,
levels. There's not everybody can win all the time. I mean, there's levels.
Right.
There's gonna be wins and losses. So just like in sports, there's wins and losses.
I think with the Vince era, there was definitely a lot of bearing. Because like with Vince, it's like if Vince didn't like you or if he didn't get you, then
Piggy James.
you weren't going to survive. What was that?
Piggy James.
Fuck that. That was dumb. That was so
Right?
fucking dumb.
I
think with
Well-
Triple H, it's like what you just said. He at least gives you a chance, even if he doesn't get you. He at least gives you a chance, and if it's working, it's working. I do think with Triple H, he tends to give up on people after a certain amount of time because, like, it seemed like going back to Cross. Cross was his boy in NXT, and he brought him back. And then when he took the pen, it's almost like he just was like, I don't know what to do with you. So I'm just going to give up, essentially. And I think Shotzi kind of said the same thing, that she feels like Triple H forgot about her. So
she was in War Game. I love these talents. Excuse me, I love these talents, but like it wasn't like they were not being fully used. Shotzi was in War Games. Her last few months in the company, she was in a War Games match. They could put someone else in there, but they put her in War Games. Cross had many opportunities. And I don't really think it was his connection with the crowd. I thought it was more of in ring. Not to say that Cross is bad in ring, but when it comes to the big matches, he couldn't live up to that level. He couldn't live up to that main event level. It just is what it is. You know what I mean?
If you can't have a good match with Sami Zayn, then like what else can you
nothing
do?
Against Cross. I like Cross. Nothing against him.
I love Cross too, yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, you got when we come on here, we got, speak.
Gotta be honest.
You gotta be honest to what we see and critique it. Triple H let go of Karrion Kross, not because he wasn't getting reactions, because he was starting to get that. It wasn't because like he really couldn't cut a promo, because he's a great fucking promo. It's because in his matches against main event talent, he wasn't delivering. And he wasn't in the contract that he was being paid. I don't know what he's being paid, but I'm more sure that in WWE's eyes, he was not worth that price of admission. And when they went back to the negotiation table, Cross, I think, maybe even want even more money, and they parted ways. It's business.
At the end of the day, that's just how it is. And also, we talked about this before. Most guys and girls, they're usually a better fit elsewhere. Like there's people who work with the WWE system, and there's people who don't, and that's fine. Toni Storm works better in AEW because she's a lot more creative freedom. Jon Moxley, for better or for worse, if you love him or hate him, he thrives in AEW, and he can be treated like a bigger star, and he can kind of do whatever the fuck he wants. And then there's guys like Cody, who I think were just always meant for WWE. They just needed something to kind of latch on to show that they can be someone somewhere else, but eventually go back to WWE. Like, that was always Cody's thing. But again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just life. It's like in sports. Most guys are just better elsewhere than they are with another team. But Carmelo Hayes versus The Miz. It was a match. Not a bad match, but it was a pretty good match.
I thought it was a really good match, actually.
Hayes
I thought that was one of the best Miz performances in certain memory. I thought it was a really good match. I wouldn't call it just a match.
Right. Miz, Miz, I don't think gets enough credit for being as good as he actually is. His role is to basically put everyone over. And at the end of the day, there's always a guy like that in the wrestling business. And Miz to me happens to be one of the better ones, if not the best one to put over young talent. Or in other words, he works overtime to put people over,
Right.
and he's one of those guys that deserves his flowers. Carmelo Hayes, I think he's having a great year so far. His stock is rising.
Yep.
And he's so far he's having the 2026 is his year, just like the award I gave him. So still the United States champion. Lash Legend versus Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton in a triple threat qualifier for the women's elimination chamber match. I thought this was good. I like all three talents. It's one of those matches that you can kind of get lost in because you have three women who deservingly should be in the match, but you kind of already know who's going to win. That's the kind of suspense I like. When it's just like one person that's over and there's just like two other scrubs, you're like, okay, I already know this is going. Those other two do not have a chance in hell to win. With this, it's like, okay, Chelsea's over. Lash is really, really good. And then you got Tiffany, who I like Tiffany, but Tiffany's kind of their golden goose. But she won, and now she's going to be in the triple threat, or not triple threat. She's going to be in the women's elimination chamber match, which is going to be in 2 weeks. Actually, it's crazy. Let's see what else we got.
Oh, there was a big news note in that match. Chelsea Green broke her ankle.
Oh yeah, brought that up. So she broke her ankle, thus she had to bow out of the tag team with Ethan Page. Ethan Page ended up losing the as he calls it, the mixed tag team championships to Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana. So good for them. Good for Lola Vice for finally getting her first championship gold in WWE.
We're probably not gonna talk a lot of AAA today on here, but did you see the interaction with Vikingo and Dominic?
Mm-hmm.
Are they teasing a hair versus hair match?
That's weird. that'd be weird though, because why would you shave Dom's head?
They're not shaving Dom. They're not gonna shave Dom's head. There's no way they're gonna shave Dom's head. Vikingos would be losing his hair if the match is happening, but
I don't know. Like I think that's kind of the way to go with Vikingo, shave his head and see how that works out.
Yeah,
but it's always good to see Dom back. He hasn't wrestled yet. Or I mean, there's no clear timeline on when he's actually going to wrestle. But in WWE terms, wrestling terms, he should have already forfeited his titles. But
should have been forfeit already. But whatever.
It's WWE. Next is you had Kit Wilson to address the crowd and wanting somebody in the Rumble specifically to come out and challenge him and to take him on,
which is a very weird request, by the way. But yeah, I know why he did, but it's kind of strange.
So, but Kit Wilson's great. I think he's been doing wonderful, especially with the loss of his partner. I mean, his partner is currently injured, but Kit Wilson's been able to make the most of it. I mean, it's funny how a song can get you over. Like very few times a theme song can get someone over, like Joe Hendry, for example. So I'm happy for Kit Wilson. Eventually, I do think he needs to get some wins to be taken seriously. But in this case, I thought it was going to be Royce Keys.
I thought so too. I thought it was going to be Hobbs, but I was surprised that Obafemi came out there. And did you hear about also as well that that apparently Royce Keys lied about his age or something about that? Did you hear something about that coming out?
I heard about that, and I don't think WWE gives a fuck.
I don't think so either, but I don't know. It's a weird situation. I'll just say that. I'll just say this. I'll just say this. He was in AEW for 7 years, whatever. How come his age wasn't brought up then? How come it was protected then? Was it protected by not by necessarily Tony Khan, but was it protected by the people who are paid off by AEW? People like Fightful, people like Dave Meltzer. Possibility. to keep that information secret. I don't know.
It's interesting that he's now in WWE and that's an issue for them. But and then there was also a rumor that someone there was like WWE fired Royce Keys because he lied about his age. It's like he was literally at
No one who
H
said that. I didn't hear anything about that.
internet wrestling fans did.
They
the
say that
IWC.
he should be fired or he did get fired.
They said he got fired because he lied about his age. So I'm like,
Those
WWE's
I don't
not
know.
gonna do it.
I really want to know what Twitter feed you're on because you be getting these crazy outlandish stories, man. You know?
I'm on, dude. I have all these Facebook pages that, for whatever reason, pop up because I like wrestling and
Oh well,
internet
Facebook.
algorithm
I
and
don't even
shit.
pay that. That's the worst shit for wrestling.
Facebook, Twitter, whatever. But anyways, Royce Keys was at WWE HQ, which he put on his Instagram story, and he's filming an episode of What's Your Story, which that's Stephanie's show, right?
That is interesting. Wow, going straight to Stephanie. That's interesting. I'm very interested in that. I'm very interested in seeing that.
I mean, yeah, I would too. But yeah, like we mentioned, Oba came out, which again, Oba is over like a motherfucker. People love Oba. Came out, destroyed Kit, and Oba still hasn't chosen a show, but the talk is that he'll be going to Raw. I would like to see him go to SmackDown, but that's just me. Right. Yeah, that's essentially the whole thing. Next is we already talked about the Jacob Fatu thing. Tama Tonga versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And I think it's kind of interesting how they're giving Tama, I guess, his own like singles run somewhat.
It's funny because he had the same thing too in New Japan where they gave him a singles run over there in New Japan and he was like, you know, he was over there winning singles titles when he was still teaming with Tonga Loa. So
is it me or has he gotten bigger?
Yeah, I mean he's always been a pretty jacked dude, but yeah, he's probably getting a little bit more mass, a little bit, yeah.
So because when he first came to WWE, he was kind of small. I'm usually not a size queen, but like he was kind of small. Ever since he came back, he's gotten a little bit bigger. So he's wrestling Shinsuke Nakamura, which could probably lead to what's his name, Evil, coming to WWE and maybe teaming with Nakamura.
I think that not only we get Evil, I think we get Hiromu as well. Hiromu Takahashi.
Interesting.
God, man, I just wish Hiromu was fucking healthy. God, man, he'll be so fucking great, man. But it's not the same guy as he was 5 years ago.
And then next we had Liv Morgan and Raquel show up to SmackDown to scout the talent. And then Jade Cargill came out, and then Jordan Grace came out, and Nick Aldis made the match, which ended up being a tag team match, to which the baby faces won, Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill. Johnny Gargano's depressed. I just know it's kind of funny.
Yeah, have you seen his social media lately?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny
stuff. Well, why do you think he's depressed?
Because I don't think he wants to say it, but his partner's gone.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Gargano is not long for the WWE world.
Mm-mm. No, as soon as that contract ends, he's going to AEW. Which again, I think WWE might be shifting back to the land of the giants, and a lot of the smaller wrestlers.
It kind of feels that not like the really smaller wrestlers like the Garganos and the Ciampas, but like you can still get guys like Javon Evans. He's very fucking tall, but he's not doesn't have a lot of mass on him yet. He'll get there,
right?
But I don't think it's necessarily land of the giants per se, but like I do think they are going to kind of phase out the smaller wrestlers, unless if you're like a Rey Mysterio or Ray Phoenix or guys like that. But what did Thorlak said? I missed it. It came in and left very quickly.
He says, "I feel bad for Gargano."
Oh, I see it now. Okay, cool. Yeah,
But yeah, yeah, Gargano's gone. I mean, he will be gone eventually, and Candice is going with them. Which I don't know. I don't know if we'll have enough time for this, but I don't know. Would have been interesting to do like a bus flip, but like a who's going to AEW edition. But I don't know if we have time, we can maybe do something like that. You had the main event, which was Randy Orton versus Aleister Black versus Solo, which I liked. By the way, I thought it was a really good main event. I thought it showed everyone's strengths. Solo, I like as a character. I think he's funny and he's entertaining, and he's slowly, I don't want to say getting better in the ring, but he's more interesting to watch in the ring because he actually works more like a savage. Randy's Randy, you know, for better for worse, he's Randy. And Aleister Black, I just wish there was something more interesting for him to do, because you know the Damien thing ended, and now it's like, what do you do with him now? So, but I really did like this match. I like the ending too. It was one of those things like with the women where I said you had three people who realistically probably could have been in the match, but in this case, you got Randy. There's no chance in hell Randy's losing, and Solo is doing the stuff with the Wyatt Six, and I don't see them doing anything with Aleister unless they creatively find something for him to do. But Randy wins the match, poses in front of Trick. I thought Trick Williams. Well, let me kind of go back to why Trick was out there for anyone that's listening or watching. Trick Williams came out and interrupted Drew, and Trick pretty much just said, like, you know, don't worry about Cody Rhodes or Jacob Fatu. You got to worry about me. I'm the future. And Drew goes, hey, I appreciate the attitude, but don't ever interrupt me again, or I'll take those lemon pepper steppers and shove them where the sun don't shine. So I like when heels can talk shit to other heels.
Yep.
Like, I would have hated if it was like, hey, I like your style. Let's be friends. Like, no, it's like, yeah, that's
supposed
cool,
to hate. Heel's supposed to hate everybody. If you're a true heel, you're supposed to hate everybody, no matter who.
Yeah, like with Drew at least speaks the truth. Like Drew was like, yeah, I will beat your ass if you ever interrupt me again. So I like that, by the way. But yeah, like I thought Trick Williams was kind of funny, just sitting there and just reacting to everybody. Yeah, that was SmackDown. Randy Orton's going to be in the Elimination Chamber in Chicago in a few weeks. Overall, what'd you think about SmackDown?
I've had to give SmackDown a rating out of 10. I'll probably give it a 6.5. 6.5 out of 10. I mean, it wasn't the best show, but it was fine for what it was.
That's fair. I want to bring up something AEW related. That's going to sound shocking. So, I believe this happened at Collision, right? Where it was Brody King and MJF, or was it Dynamite?
No, it was last week's Dynamite. Remember, we came on here. I was like, oh, they beat him in 3 minutes, MJF, and
well, I guess the big highlight of the match was the entire crowd chanting "fuck Ice," because if anyone isn't familiar, Brody King is very much against Ice. He even has a shirt that says "Abolish Ice."
Yep.
On the most recent episode of Dynamite, which was last night, Warner Brothers Discovery reportedly stopped Brody King from appearing on the show because of the anti-Ice chant heard during a recent match, despite being set to challenge for the AEW title later this week. Dave Meltzer on his show said, this again is not a Tony call. This is from above. You know what it is. Nobody wants to get on Trump's bad side. If it wasn't for that, nobody would care. It's just a chant. But unfortunately, they've got a company they're trying to sell and get regulatory approval from a guy who is going to take that stuff personal. That's just how it is. Just that's the way of the world. With Tony, it's sometimes it's his call, sometimes it's not. We've kind of theorized with certain calls that AEW's made, like with the Briscoes and just recently Trey Miguel. This seems more like non-wrestling related and more personal related.
Oh, it's definitely non-wrestling related for sure.
But what are your thoughts on that?
I don't want to get political on the stream here, but I'll just say that how can I phrase this? I'll say that he is every right to say what he said 1,000%. It's his opinion, where if you agree with it or not, right? You know. However, I do think that this does fall on management of some point where it comes to um AEW management, to where that they allow their wrestlers to wherever they want on TV and say wherever they want on TV, when they should have some type of guidelines for that. I'm not fully blaming management in AEW because too as well, just because that you want to be that alternative too as well, but there should be little codes where like, hey, just certain things we're not touching, we're not touch religion, politics, you know what I mean, like things like that. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a sucky situation, and this is just the beginning of the story. I don't think this is going to end well for Brody King long term. So
Do you see the possibility of maybe Brody King being let go by AEW?
yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Not necessarily being let go by AEW because they want to let him go. Is that
And I don't think WWE would touch him because WWE is in cahoots with Trump.
Yeah.
So
it sucks because he'll go back to the Indies, or he'll probably, he'll get like MLW or JCW. Maybe works with Vince Russo or someone. I don't know.
I mean, it sucks because like this is something that's kind of out of his control. I'm Brody. I'm talking about like it's not like he told the fans to say fuck ice. It's just he had been wearing that shirt from before, but because, and again, I don't mean to get political. Well, I'll keep this short, but like the way the world is now, and it almost seems like we're getting to the point where we're gonna have a gun pointed to our head. Once we step outside. Like that's how scary the world's getting.
Speaking in a devil's advocate way, although I'm for his free speech, regardless. Though, like things like this was not happening 15, 20 years ago. If something like that were to happen 15, 20 years ago, what would the result be, you think?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. It depends because, like, you look at the Muhammad Hassan thing, where that was getting over, and then the London bombings happened, and they filmed that segment. Well, that was when SmackDown was pre-recorded, not live, and they still put the segment on TV, but with a warning. And the network told them straight up, like, this guy's got to go. We can't put it back on TV. Nowadays, I mean, back then, I'm sorry. If that were to happen, I can't really say for sure, because WWE was obviously much different back then. When it became more family friendly and PG, they kind of had to take, precautions.
If this happened in, let's say, 2006, which they weren't PG yet,
I don't think he would have gotten in trouble. Personally.
Really? Okay.
Again, different time. I think Vince McMahon would have been understanding and probably would have tried to capitalize on it. Unfortunately, because
I think he would have been suspended.
Making money. Brody King.
Yeah, back then. Yeah, I think there would have been a suspension for sure. Maybe not fired, but suspended for sure.
All right.
You don't. There's things in life that you don't touch on TV. If you're not in that world, right? Not sports. I mean, it's a sport, but politics, religion, things of that nature. Like, I mean, stay away from that type of stuff. That even like at work too as well. Like, you don't talk about politics and religion. You're not supposed to talk about politics and religion at your work. You know what I mean? Because it creates chaos, right? Again, I'm for his free speech. It's a commendable thing that he did, right? However, this falls on a little bit on AEW management for allowing it to be on their TV. Period.
Do you think if they would have bleeped it out, it would have made any difference?
Yeah, no, it would have made a difference because he wasn't wearing a anti-ice T-shirt on TV. So for that week, so I think that would have helped. But again, then then it's like, oh, it's our freedom of speech, and but whatever. I mean, and it's probably what Tony Khan feels as well. Tony Khan feels the same way as Roy King, possibly. I would like
Tony's
to think
a little bit more progressive. Yeah.
I would like to think, yeah.
Yeah, Tony's way more progressive. And regardless, for better or for worse, whatever you want to think about him, he's very much about free speech, and he seems a little bit more progressive and, progressive. That's the word I was really looking for.
Yeah.
And WWE, like I mentioned, they're very much in cahoots with Trump. I mean, they were Triple H is doing like a fitness thing with Trump, and Linda McMahon's in his cabinet. So, anyways, let's get away from politics. I just wanted to bring that up because it was kind of a hot button topic.
Sure.
So to begin, Raw, Braun Breaker. This was announced on Sunday. Braun Breaker had a hernia. So last Monday on Raw, we talked about the opener, which we praised. We all really liked. They did a spot, or not they. Braun did a spot where he, tipped over the announce table, and that is what caused his injury. Let's talk about it. So Dave Meltzer
on Raw, they said that that he injured it while doing training. So,
well, yeah, they can't point out the truth, but Braun Breaker had a hernia, and he would miss several months. It's not specified as to when he'll be back, but the talk is that he'll miss Mania, and which sucks because Seth's out, now Braun's out, and they pretty much have to do a lot of shuffling with the Vision, which is kind of what they're doing on the show.
Vision is a very cursed.
Yeah, got that right.
They're cursed.
What do you think the Vision is going to do at Mania? If you had to pick anything,
if I'm the Vision, I will have a 6-man tag that will include, or maybe a tag team match, maybe a 6-man tag or a regular tag team match. I know that we were talking about him earlier, and he's currently not active, but I can see WWE actually getting Bad Bunny. So I can see, because I don't know if you saw that thing with Logan Paul saying, fuck Bad Bunny or whatever, right? That could be a little thing there, but they get Bad Bunny involved, and maybe have someone like LA Knight teaming up with them, because LA Knight they need to put something to do with LA Knight, at WrestleMania, and maybe include someone like a Penta. Because the Penta division kind of has a little history as well, so it could be something like that.
Well, for anyone that doesn't know, so on Super Bowl Sunday, we talked about the Bad Bunny performance, and Jake Paul had posted and made kind of this very douchey response saying that I'm going to purposely not watch the halftime show because Bad Bunny isn't a real American, even though Puerto Rico is part of America.
What?
And well,
I didn't hear you.
Well, I was trying to be niche. I said, even though Puerto Rico is part of America.
Got it.
Again, that's people obviously are showing their ignorance and their racism. But anyways, Logan Paul kind of had to pull an unaudible, so to speak, and retweet his brother's quote, pretty much saying, "I love my brother, but he's wrong. Bad Bunny's going to put on a good performance, blah, blah, blah." Hours prior, Logan Paul was at some I don't know, like an award show or something, and someone had asked him, "Are you looking forward to Bad Bunny's performance?" And he said no. So I guess this is kind of his way. I guess this was like PR saying, address this, fix it. So yeah, that could possibly set up maybe a singles match between Logan and Bad.
I think that was kind of backwards because he did that little interview or not interview, but on the red carpet thing first. Then he did the tweet because I think that was like on Friday or Saturday when he addressed about are you gonna watch Bad Bunny's halftime show?
No, that's what I said. I said hours prior, he was on a red carpet and they asked him that.
Okay.
So anyways,
Yeah.
I just think again, that was just this way of like my brother is getting bad heat. I gotta show everyone I'm the good brother, basically. So looks like it could be a 6-man tag, which I think that's the best you said of all.
Whoa! I ain't saying it was gonna be a 6-man tag, but I'm saying
no.
I mean, we're not trying to break news here. I'm saying that could be a possibility.
No, I mean that kind of looks like it's the way to go. I mean, because LA Knight has a reason. Obviously, Penta has a reason. Bad Bunny can have a reason because like he hates the Paul brothers and he preferably hates Logan Paul or even Jake Paul. But that's the best you said of all 6 men, in my opinion. What are we gonna say?
Who else do you think could be in that position outside of LA Knight and Penta? Who else can tag with them? Not too many people, I don't think, but
I can't really think of anyone else because like the Vision has only been really feuding with just certain people because they feuded with Punk and that's done. And LA Knight and Jey Uso, but Jey Uso's with Jimmy and they're defending the tag titles. So I mean, you can maybe throw Ray Phoenix in there and do like a Lucha Brothers thing.
Man, that pisses me off, but yeah.
I mean, it does to me too. But I think it's gonna be a thing where they all feud together, and LA Knight and Penta are like, "Yeah, we gotta find our third man. I think we found the right guy," and it's Bad Bunny, or maybe Bad Bunny shows up for a Raw and does like a performance, and then the Vision come out and talk shit and beat him up, and then LA Knight.
Yeah. Also, as well, you know what? Scratch that because we gotta find out who this masked man is, and it actually just maybe Seth Rollins, and it may be Seth Rollins instead of Penta.
Maybe. I mean, the idea is that Seth might miss Mania, but you never know. You never know with these things.
They're shuffling ideas around right now. I'm just saying that I wouldn't count out Seth Rollins. I mean, do we think that Seth Rollins is gonna miss a WrestleMania payday? Despite the circumstances.
I mean, what if he's not 100% though? That's the thing.
I mean, you got to put people, you got to put stars on the show.
Yeah, very true. But at the same time, I
mean, it's WrestleMania, man. This ain't fucking Backlash.
No, I know that. I'm just saying it's a different era because back then it was always like, well, I need to wrestle or else I'll lose my spot. Nowadays, if you're not 100% there,
but if you're getting paid for this, yeah.
Well, also, I just think with Seth, it's different because it's like I have a family. I got to think about them.
Oh my God, I got a family. Oh my God,
he's got a family. God damn it.
Oh my God. Do you want to see Seth at WrestleMania? All right, answer my question right there. That's why you're saying, oh, he's a family man and all that.
No. If he doesn't need to be at the show, then don't put him on the show. If you don't just force him on the show.
But if you, but it's the vision, and it's part of the story, and
if he's not 100%, don't put him on the show.
If he's not 100%, I agree. But if he's ready,
then he's ready.
Okay.
What else can I say? That's my answer.
Gotcha.
So the rest of Raw, you had the show opens with CM Punk and AJ Lee walking to the ring, and Becky just happens to be right behind him, and she's pissed off. She's incensed. And then Becky comes out, and she just starts pretty much crashing out. And then AJ Lee comes out, and AJ Lee says, "I'm serious. Support my girl Maxine." It was, it's one of those things of like it was kind of funny just seeing Becky lose her shit over AJ, and
Right.
AJ's just like, "What do you want me to do? Like, I don't know what I did to piss you off."
Right.
And then Becky's like, I want you out of my life. So you and me in your hometown of Chicago at Elimination Chamber. If I win, you're gone. And then AJ accepts, which I think that's going to end in a DQ, and we're going to get the actual match at Mania.
Something like that, yeah.
Like Becky's going to just beat the shit out of AJ, and AJ's going to get a revenge at Mania and get the Intercontinental title, Women's Intercontinental title, which makes sense.
Then why do we have to do this match at Elimination Chamber?
I mean, it's Chicago. Because, they want to sell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it just because of the hometown pop? I guess, but hey, I'm down the street. I'll come in.
Pretty much. Yeah, not for nothing. The way Elimination Chamber works, it looks like it might be a pretty good pay-per-view.
Yeah, so far it looks good.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it. World Tag Team Championships. Yeah, the Usos versus the Alpha Academy. The Usos win. Not a bad match. I like Alpha Academy being a little bit more serious and less, goofy in this match. Otis, I think, is pretty underrated as a guy who, for the most part, is always going to be a comedy guy. But when he can be a little bit more serious, it's interesting to see him work. And Tozawa, it was interesting seeing him being more serious.
Out of everyone that, and I think I mentioned this maybe a few weeks ago, but out of everyone that was in that Cruiserweight Classics, Tozawa is the final one remaining standing. There's no, and Gargano technically. There's no one else from the tournament. I don't think. Oh shit, never mind. Fucking Cruz del Toro. There's no one. There's really no one else outside of those three that's left. I don't think. TJP, Kota Ibushi, Rich Swann, Zack Sabre Jr., Cedric Alexander. They're all gone, man. Grand Metalik. He made the finals too.
Going back to the land of the Giants, as I mentioned. Yeah, it's crazy to think about it. It's really crazy to think about it that way. Liv Morgan promo where she called out Stephanie McCoy, and I don't know, kind of a weird promo. Not I mean, nowhere near as good as the Becky and AJ one. Where Stephanie's talking in Spanish and Liv is telling Dom to translate for her. And then Dom goes, "Oh, she says you're a little bitch." And then Liv calls her a puta, and Stephanie calls her a puta back, and then slaps Dominic. I
didn't. I mean, if this is going to be what we're getting going to WrestleMania, they're gonna have a good match. I'm not worried about the match, but the build, I think it may be a little weak, unfortunately. I mean, they can turn around, but I wasn't really too impressed with this first major encounter.
It felt like they met each other for the first time.
Yeah,
like they just didn't feel natural together. So far they don't have good chemistry as far as like promos together, but we'll see what their wrestling matches are like. Elimination Chamber qualifier, Rhea Ripley, Lyra, and Ivy. I think there wasn't a soul in that building that thought Rhea was going to lose. So Rhea won as she should have. Finn Balor wants a title match. CM Punk came out to address the fans, and then Finn Balor addressed him. Says, put your title on line against me at Elimination Chamber. And Adam Pearce is warning Punk, don't defend your title before Mania. I don't want to jeopardize, the main event at Mania. And Punk just tells him make the match. And then Pearce makes the match. Michael Cole is even advising Punk, like saying, what are you doing? Like, it's not smart to do this. Then Punk just says, I got to be a fighting champion. I got to be the champion I've been saying I am. So that's an interesting story for Punk. Is them addressing Roman not being there all the time, and Punk has to be the champion that he's been saying he's going to be.
Right.
And it makes the main event of Mania mean that much more. Roman will not be on Raw until the beginning of March. They already put out his schedule. But I don't know. How do you feel about this build up so far of CM Punk? I guess better question is everything between it. So you got him and Finn at Elimination Chamber, and it looks like Punk's going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting, so to speak.
I mean, this is just a in between feud, and when Roman gets back, he gets back.
All right. So let me bring up something CM Punk related. So it was announced that he's going to be on the cover for WWE 2K26.
Yep, it was announced a couple weeks ago, I think.
And they announced his 2K showcase. And if anyone isn't familiar with what that means, basically it's going to have a lot of Punk's greatest matches. Where you could play as CM Punk versus whomever from the past. Would you happen to know his showcases, Justin?
No.
I have them right here. And just let me know if you notice that there's anything off about them. So, historical matches, as they call them. 2008 against JBL at SummerSlam when he was the World Heavyweight Champion. Armageddon 2008 against Rey Mysterio. WrestleMania 27 against Randy Orton.
Okay.
WrestleMania 29 against The Undertaker. Raw February 2013 against John Cena.
So there's no Money in the Bank.
No Money in the Bank.
Okay.
Why do you think that is?
I have no idea.
If I had to guess, it's because Vince and John Laurinaitis and Alberto Del Rio were a part of it.
Okay. Yeah, true.
All right. Where was I? Elimination Chamber against The Rock, where The Rock beat him. SummerSlam 2013 against Brock Lesnar. Bad Blood 2024 Hell in a Cell match against Drew McIntyre. First match on Netflix of Raw against Seth Rollins, and then WrestleMania 41 against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and then what if scenarios against Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Eddie Guerrero, and tagging with AJ Lee versus the Miz and Maurice mixed tag match. So that is CM Punk's showcase.
Are you gonna buy the game?
Probably not.
Okay.
Games are too expensive, dude. I'll wait for that shit to go on sale.
Gotcha.
But do you have any thoughts on it?
No, it's the same stuff that they put out every year for WWE 2K.
All right. So what do we got next? We had Maxine Dupree versus Natty, not Natalia, Natty, who is an ass kicker now, and she beat the shit out of Maxine. Went to a no contest. AJ came out to save her girl, to which Becky blindsided AJ, thus setting up their match for Elimination Chamber. You had a tag match. You had Javon Evans and the original OG, the OG El Grande Americano versus Rayo and Bravo, to which Evans and El Grande won. And kind of hope we could see more from Javon Evans than just, feuding with the El Grandes.
I mean, he's barely a month in, so I mean, we'll see what happens. But I mean, that OG cutter, that was an insane OG cutter that he gave to Bravo.
Grande is a human highlight reel.
Javon Evans?
Yeah, Javon.
I thought you said El Grande.
I thought I said Javon or Evans. I thought that either Evans or just Javon.
I thought you said it sounded like you said El Grande. I may be wrong, but we'll let the chat.
But the human highlight film or reel or whatever. Anyway, so the main event was LA Knight versus Penta versus Austin Theory for the other spot in the Elimination Chamber match, you had the Vision come out and interfere, and then you had the Masked Man come out to take out Austin Theory, and LA Knight won.
It was a different person in the get up this time.
Who do you think it was?
No. I'm not saying that's a different. It's going to be revealed to be a different person. I think it's going to be revealed to be Seth Rollins, but I'm saying the person that showed up at the Royal Rumble is not the same person that showed up on Monday. He looked different.
No, that's what I meant, because like I think the Rumble was. Someone said the Rumble was Logan Paul, and then the Raw after that was Grayson Waller.
But it could be Grayson Waller. That's
only time will tell.
Yep.
Only time will tell as we find out who's really under that hood or that mask. But that was Monday Night Raw. Not a terrible show, but just it was what it was. We can kind of figure out what was going to happen to who. But do you have any thoughts on that?
No, if I have to give Raw a rating out of 10, I'll give this one a 7 out of 10. Slightly better than SmackDown.
Fair enough. Let's kind of skim through NXT real quick. Joe Hendry opens the show as the new NXT champion, and he has a giant target on his back with Vanity Project. I'm sorry, coming out.
Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair. That's what is that? I know it's a real company. I forgot what they do.
It's a magazine.
Magazine. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, and then it's also a YouTube channel where they. It's interesting. Vanity Fair's YouTube channel is kind of interesting because they'll have like actor and director interviews, which I'm always drawn to. But Vanity Project beats them up, which sets up Joe Hendry versus Jackson Drake much later on in the show. Yeah, Jada Parker versus Blake Monroe, which didn't end so well. Jada Parker forgot to jump after Blake goes for a suplex, I think. But it ends in a double count, which the fans did not seem too jazzed about, me being included. Keanu Carver is so angry about something. I don't know what it is. Robert Stone still trying
I don't see why people are so impressive with Keanu Carver. As far as does he have potential? I think he has potential, but it's like he's not doing anything different from. You gotta be different from all the other big guys, and he's not really showing anything major difference. But that does go back to creative. Creative needs to figure something out for him more than just being the angry guy.
I mean, like, it was
unrealistic too. You told me he told me he took out all those whatever.
Yeah, but Robert Stone, he's still the interim GM of NXT. Do you think he's going to be permanent, or do you think they're going to bring in somebody else?
He's going to be permanent.
Okay. Josh Briggs versus Eli Knight.
There's someone else that you were thinking that they'll bring in.
I mean, I wouldn't mind them sticking with Robert Stone because it's like, give someone new a chance, because it's like bringing in like an ex-WWE Hall of Famer or someone that's just not good for the job, Ava.
Gotcha.
It's like try someone new. And Robert Stone, he's been there for a while. He's been kind of busting his ass. Give him a chance.
Yeah,
give him a chance to kind of spread his wings and be creative and interesting, because I think he can. I mean, the guy was Robbie E in TNA, so he has charisma.
You're now on the list. Oh, I remember he used to do that.
And he was the remember, he brought in your boy Von Khali.
Khali. One what he's doing. Last time I saw him, he was on. He had a. Was it on Collision? I think it was on Collision. I think
he was.
Yeah, he was on AEW. Yep.
Yeah, well, good for him. Maybe he can be the AEW World Champion.
No, they didn't. He's not all elite. He's on the indie somewhere doing something, but yeah.
Nice. Josh Briggs, Eli Knight in a speed title tournament. Knight won. Hooray.
He's very athletic. I think he has a future for sure.
No, he's very good. He's very, very good. He's a pretty interesting to watch. They did okay. So they had two things that I just thought were bad, in my opinion. Uh, they did a video package with Tatum Paxley, which was AI as fuck.
It's terrible.
I did not like that at all. Um, I'm one. I think AI obviously can be used for good, but when you decide to make it your whole thing, like for example, I don't know if you saw this, they put out a clip. Someone made an AI movie clip of Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise fighting, like having like a
Oh yeah, I saw that. That looked pretty good.
Yeah, but it's just like
it looked pretty good. I mean, it sounded artificial, but the way that it looked fine.
Yeah, again, this was bad. The Tatum Paxton thing was pretty bad. I like what she was saying. I thought the promo she was cutting was good. It's just like the package was just...
Oh no, yeah. Did you like the Brad Pitt thing though? In the Tom Cruise?
Don't like AI, brother.
Oh, so you don't like AI now?
I think AI works. It's useful.
You're over here making pictures and stuff with thumbnails and stuff with AI.
I do that for fun.
Oh,
that's just for fun.
Oh, I see.
When you decide to make an entire movie or a clip out of AI, then that's a problem. Like I'm just doing it in my spare time.
You know what? Have you seen they made this? Someone made a like a cartoon. It looked like a cartoon movie out of AI. That's where we're at now. That's where we're at now. But if you mean to tell me like if I can write a movie script, if I can make YouTube content and make money off of it just with AI, like why the fuck not? Like, if the content is good, the content is good.
Yeah, but the one thing AI doesn't have over a human writer is trauma. An AI is not a human.
But if you're writing it, so if you're the one physically typing out the script, you're creating your own human element within the source.
Again, just like making an entire movie out of AI, I'm not a fan
of. You're saying that now, but 5 years from now, imagine where AI. 5 years ago, AI was pretty much not exist. I mean, it was existed, but like not to like people making videos and and all that stuff. Imagine 5 years from now, if it's already this convincing. Imagine 5 years from now on how much better it will be.
Again, I still don't want to see it. Like I'm actually scared for the movie industry and movie theaters in general because
I mean the movie industry's already been dog shit for the last 10 years, so it's all right. We'll be okay.
Yeah, not really. But anyways, so moving on. Talked about that. Didn't like that Tatum Paxley video package. Didn't like the whole promotion for this horror movie that's coming out where they had a dude literally sit in the crowd. Which I'm like, wait, what movie is this?
It's
Psycho Killer. I know it is, but at first when I'm watching, I'm like, wait, what is this? Like, oh yeah, Psycho Killer, which I'll watch. It looks interesting, but like the fact that he's just sitting there selling it, and like you just see people sitting next to him going, "What the fuck is this?" If that was Jim Cornette, he would have slapped the shit out of the kid, like he did to Santino, 20 years ago. Dark State has made many enemies, blah, blah, blah. And then Tony D'Angelo took him out when they weren't looking. So his plan is already in motion. Yeah, Joe Hendry versus Jackson Drake. I thought this was a very good match. I like Jackson Drake. I think he has potential.
He definitely does.
Needs to bulk up a little bit, but that's just me. But he definitely has a punchable face as a heel.
There's a lot of people that legitimately don't like them. They're getting like, I mean, these people online are fucking stupid, but yeah, they're like, oh, I don't like them. They look like they're 13-year-olds or 14-year-olds. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, they're young, but like I don't know, man. That's people really they really try to find things like they want to find things something wrong so they can complain about it, which is to me stupid. But
no, you're not wrong. I mean, their whole gimmick is that they're the douchey, rich kids from college.
Yep.
Like it's simple. You hate them. You want to punch them in the face because they have all the money and all the girls get with them. Like that's, that's just wrestling 101, and they're making it work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought Drake did a great job out here. I definitely do think, you know, in the long run, he can be one of NXT's major players to me. And then Ricky Saints came out and attacked Joe Hendry, so it looks like that's going to be a takeover match. Those are like the two biggest stars on the show. Next week, Ethan Page is defending the North American title against Shiloh Hill. Justin is looking forward to that.
I'm just saying, if they put the title on Shiloh Hill, everybody that they could put the title on, or that they could have Ethan lose to, Shiloh Hill to me is not that person. But
I think he's going to drop the title to Miles Bourne.
Oh yeah, I believe so too. But I'm just saying, like,
which I'm not nuts about.
You're not nuts about that.
Again, I don't hate Miles Bourne. I think he's very talented. It's just, I just think the guy's bland. Like, to me, I just think he's bland. He
is deaf. I mean, he is. I mean, like,
I know he's deaf. That doesn't have anything to do with it.
Well, I'm saying, like, how much character can you really show it, like, and try to convey across, like, if I mean, but
I know it's just I don't see what everyone else is saying.
I don't think he's fantastic either, but I mean, give him a shot. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll win the title, lose it, then turn heel. Maybe he'll be a Barry heel than babyface. Probably babyface is not his thing.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he's still dating Stephanie, of course. So I gotta give him that. Hank and Tank versus Swipe Right. To which Swipe Right. To which Jackson Drake came out and interfered and caused his team to get the win. So that was a good win for them. And lastly, the main event, which was Ruka versus Ren QCC. The stipulation being that whoever got the pinfall for their team would get a number one contenders match, or be a number one contender against the NXT Women's Champion, Jacy Jayne, which I just thought that was kind of fucking confusing. Like, why not just make it a fatal 4-way? But that's just me. The whole basis of the story is that Zarya and Sol Ruka are still feuding. Zarya is jealous of Sol Ruka's opportunities. Sol Ruka is trying to make it work. All the while, you have Kendall Gray, and it's funny. Like, Kendall and Ren weren't interfering in the match whenever one was getting the pin, but Zarya kept coming in and interrupting Sol's pin. So I don't know. Ren and Kendall they don't know how to make it work. They're besties, but Sol gets the win. And in 2 weeks in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia, for NXT, it's going to be Jacy Jayne versus Sol Ruka. And that's how the show closed, with Jacy Jayne coming out to confront her next challenger. So, do you have any overall thoughts on NXT?
Not really, but obviously, Zarya is going to cost Sol Ruka the match, and that's going to be one of your headline matches at Stand Deliver.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll give NXT a 6 out of 10.
So lastly, it's just a little bit of news. I just kind of want to get your opinion on it.
Sure.
So Zilla Fatu.
Right.
Zilla Fatu made some comments on a live stream towards GCW. More specifically, the owner, Brett Lauderdale? That's his name. Yep. Where he said, "Man, fuck FGCW. Weird ass owner, man. It's a weird ass owner. Nah, for real. Shouts of Frankie, man. Make sure that's the last time you go to GCW. All right, that's the last time. I'm telling y'all, the owner weird as hell, bro. If you got kids, do not take your kids there. Don't take none of your kids to that. I'm telling y'all, man. Nah, for real." Brett Lauderdale had a response on his Twitter, or X, however you choose to say it. Now, quote, "When I first met Zilla, he had 13 matches and an ugly falling out with Booker T under his belt. We took him into We took him into the GCW family, brought him on the road, and gave him the opportunity to work with, be around, and learn from some of the best in the business. Nobody else would touch him. I have a lot of respect for the family, so I won't say anything to damage his career, but there's a reason he's still out here and not with them on TV, and it has nothing to do with his talent. Unfortunately, he hasn't figured that part out yet. Young wrestlers, be careful who you surround yourself with. The dudes sitting next to you, laughing up and encouraging you when you say or do dumb shit, are not your best friends, and they do not have your best interests in mind. They are seeking attention and clout at your expense. Lastly, he said Zilla will either figure it out soon and fulfill his destiny, or he will end up as just another cautionary tale. Jesus Christ, cautionary tale. I wish him the best, regardless. I mean, this is kind of a known thing with Zilla. I think people don't want to talk about. Zilla comes across as someone who very much believes in his own hype. He did an interview with Chris Van Fleet a few months ago, sometime last year, and he just kind of had this thing about him where it seems like he thinks he's better than what he actually is. And for Brett Lauderdale to point that out, I'm like, yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
This is why NXT hasn't brought you in for a spot, even though Booker T was, part of RCW. This is why
you mean Reality of Wrestling?
Reality of Wrestling. I'm sorry, not River City Wrestling. Shout to them, by the way. Local wrestling. Reality of Wrestling, which shout to them too. But this all kind of checks out to everyone's theories about Zilla. But what are your overall thoughts on this?
Really none. He's a young guy. Usually young guys in their career, they start off rough like this and they end up fleshing out.
Do you think eventually he can get it?
I'm sure, yeah, for sure. If he's serious about it.
I hope so. I mean, because he's someone that, we kind of all know about his past if anyone, looks it up. But it does suck to hear that he is that way. And like you said, he's young. Eventually he's going to get it. But it's not even just in wrestling. It's, a bunch of other sports. Like, guys will have all this money and all this fame, and they just surround themselves with yes men that tell them that they're amazing at everything and don't check them. So, again, I do hope he gets it and realizes, like, I need better people around me.
Yep.
Yeah, because you can't be this young and be this dumb. Like, to me. But
I mean, he's young, and we don't know his life, so can't really judge him. You know what I mean? So,
right.
at least for the people that come into my shop that has worked with Zilla, I haven't heard anything bad. They say you just say good things about him. So, who's to say?
Yeah, so. True. But that's all the news I have. What about you?
I thought you said a couple of news stories, but I have no news stories.
No, that was the only news story I had. Oh. Or that, the Braun Breaker thing, and whatever else we talked about.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I thought you had, for some reason I thought you had more. No, I didn't have any news. Yep, unfortunately. There is news out there, but it's irrelevant to today.
All right. I mentioned the Bustle thing, but we could say that for next week. All right. Well, that's the show, people. For anyone watching on YouTube and Twitch and Kick, thank you all for watching. Make sure to sub.
Yeah. Thorlex came through. Was anyone else? I don't have the chat up. I don't know if anyone else was in there.
Not just the Thorlex. But thank you all for watching. Anyone watching on YouTube, don't forget to sub to the channel. Also leave a like and a comment, if you will. Of course, anyone watching on Twitch and Kick, sub to the other socials, please. And of course, on Twitter X and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, just look up True York and you'll find me. And of course, thank you, Thorlex. And we will see y'all. Well, the experience will be back next week at the same time, same channel. I might just switch. I might just switch back to just Twitter X and not Kick and just do YouTube, Twitch, and TwitterX.
Yeah.
Just wanted to try Kick just to see how that works out. And then of course Sunday is Metal Drive Hoops with me and Anthony. We just did an episode recently.
Nice.
Where we talked about the trade deadline, and then this week we're going to talk about the All-Star game, or just All-Star weekend in general, which we got another Spur in. Giannis Antetokounmpo got hurt, and De'Aaron Fox took his place, so we got 2 Spurs in the All-Star game. So,
De'Aaron Fox, he did not want to play in the All-Star game.
No, we didn't. He said straight up, like, listen, they got a guy on the worst team in the East. I don't care. I really don't care.
Well, no, it's not that. But if you saw the Spurs social media, they were like after the game last time when they beat the Warriors, he was all like he's like Wemby, and yeah, everyone else going to the All-Star game. The coach is going to the All-Star game. They said the rest of us is on vacation, and he seemed pretty happy about that. Now he's like, oh fuck, I got to play in this game now.
But it's still cool nonetheless to have 3 Spurs, actually. Mitch Johnson's the head coach.
Yep.
So, and then Carter Brent's in the dunk contest, which hopefully he doesn't miss any dunks. He's been playing pretty well. So I'm happy to see that.
Thoughts on Jeremy Sohan being released and signed with the Knicks?
I was kind of thinking it would happen because I didn't think I knew they were trying to trade him, but I just didn't think they would get anything back because I think teams are going to be like, yeah, we'll take him, but we also want that, and that. And the Spurs like, nope, you can only get that.
No. It wasn't anything like that. It was like there was no trade value for him out there.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But what the Spurs were trying to get back to as well, they were asking for a lot just for Jeremy Sohan. They were trying to get back Yabusele in. For example, but Yabusele, he's on a player option this year. So if the Spurs would trade for Yabusele, it would have been kind of like with De'Aaron Fox this past year. He was on a player option too as well. Yabusele probably didn't commit. Like, yeah, I don't know if I'll stay in San Antonio for the next year, so they didn't trade for him. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get somebody in the buyout market. Maybe someone like Chris Boucher, someone to that nature. So we'll see. We'll see what happens though. But if you have to sign anybody in the buyout market, who'd you sign?
Well, the thing is, I don't even know who's in the buyout market right now. Who would you sign?
Oh yeah, but Chris Boucher. Yeah, that's the top one. I didn't know if you were paying attention to that or not. So yeah.
Is he a big man?
Yeah. He's not good, but
you're like he's not good.
I mean, no, he's not. He's really not. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
So I'll say someone like a Chris Boucher. Outside of that, I mean, there's not really anybody. I mean, I don't really see anyone else. Mason Plumlee, really, but he's too old now. Harold Highsmith, too. He's okay, but he's kind of older now too. So,
but going back to Sohan, little surprised that they waived him instead of just waiting for the season or waiting for the off season. But
they want to get someone on the roster now that can help.
No, I get that. But for Sohan, good for him. He's with the Knicks. He's with another playoff team. He might even have an opportunity to, showcase his talents there. The Knicks just got better. I mean, they got Jose Alvarado, and now they can see what Sohan can do. So, good for him. And I like the fact that a lot of the players on the team, wished them their best, and were like, "That's my boy." So I like the fact that they're all still friends. But
I mean, a lot of guys in the NBA are friends. I mean, when they compete on the court, they compete on the court. Kind of like in wrestling, there's a lot of wrestlers who love each other, who are friends, no matter where they're at, So,
but our Spurs are 1-6 in a row. So let's see if they can keep up that momentum after the All-Star game. But we are done. Justin, go ahead and plug Spinebuster Tees.
Yeah, Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. Get yourself a t-shirt shipped out to you. It takes about a couple weeks, a week and a half. Spine Buster Tees on Instagram. Follow me there where you'll keep up to date with me on what I have inside of my shop, which is at Spine Buster Tees at Wonderland of the Americas. Come and get yourself a t-shirt, a action figure, Funko Pop, what's left of them actually, sticker, train card, lucha mask, hat, anything wrestling related. You can find it there at Spine Buster Tees at Wonderland Americas, aka formerly known as Crossroads Mall in San Antonio. Spine Buster Tees on Instagram. I think I'm getting close to 225, not 25,000, but 2,500 followers, and spinebustertees.com.
All right, you heard it here first, people. Sports Spinebuster Tees, please. Justin has everything you need. Anyways, people, we are done. We will see y'all next week. Same time, same channel, or usual time, usual channel. So,
By the
anyways,
way,
people.
it's I have 2,316 followers on Instagram. So.
Support my boy. All right, take care, people.
Bullet Club for life. Goodbye. And good night, Ben.